Hi, welcome back, everybody. I thought I would do something a little different. It seemed that everybody seemed to give a good response to me speaking about my old dynamics with a family that I don't even associate with anymore. I started doing research on narcissism, partly because I am taking college psychology for becoming a social worker. Um, by the way, that's going really good. I'm very happy. I feel like I could have done better in history class, but it is what it is. I'm going to do the best as I can to, when autumn semester starts, that I accomplish my goals. It'd be great to get, you know, to reach being an honor student. Anyways, with that being said, I came from nothing. And what I mean by I came from nothing, all my life, I have been mistreated. I've been abused. I've been neglected to the point that I ended up being labeled the black sheep in my family for walking away. My mother has not spoken to me, and God, I can't remember the last time she spoke to me. And honestly, I really don't care. Anyways, I was thinking that I would do something a little bit new. Um, like I was saying, my mother and I have not spoken in I don't know how long. I've been living in Cleveland, came from a down in the gutter, homeless, not applying myself, going through a deep depression, missing my old life that I felt like was that I lost. It was then that I started thinking that and blaming myself because I trusted the wrong people. Now, everybody, this is going to be very hard for me to even talk about, and I will be looking down a lot and trying to gather myself, partly choosing my words wisely, because I don't know if my family is watching my YouTube channels or what. But ever since the Johnny Depp trial, um, defamation of character has been a real big thing. And I feel like because I'm starting to get myself out of a deep hole and things are starting to go really great in my life, it seems like that's when everybody in my family starts taking a keen interest in my life. And then I feel like they gaslight. They make it seem like, oh, we're just this perfect family. We care. We do this. We do that. Had the worst Thanksgiving last year. I had the worst Christmas. Usually, I won't say names to protect myself mainly, but I will say Karen 1, 2, and 3. That sounds better to me. Anyways, main Karen always has like these Christmas activities for family. Christmas is Karen Main, her favorite holiday. It's a family holiday, so all the good memories seem to go with Christmas. It's also a pagan holiday too, but go figure. Anyways, Karen Main seems to, I don't know how you would say this, but I was going through a lot on Christmas. I really missed my family and my husband. And though my husband's parents are Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't celebrate holidays or birthdays. I don't understand that myself, but they do. And I felt like already out of place because I was living in a basement. I felt depressed as it is, and I felt like this place was my prison, pretty much. And instead of making me feel welcome, I felt like Karen Main was trying to go back to the old ways that she would act. Like, I never felt included. I felt like I was, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, she would say that all I do is stay on my phone. Like, if my phone's not in my hands, that's how she would remember me. Exact words, too. No, I've always had that, for some reason, seemed to have that. It was always that same song and dance. Either I wanted a friendship with my mother, or Karen Main, or she wanted something, and we both just seemed to cross our T's or something and go polar opposite. Anyways, it just felt like Karen Main, we just didn't mesh, and she and I just never got along. We had two different ways of thinking, and she seemed to always love the truth just to get others' reactions on it, but seemed to not like the truth when it was bestowed upon her. And I always felt like I was walking on eggshells. So there was times when I can remember when I got my I'll say Karen 3, a birthday cake. And Karen 3 didn't even say thank you or kiss my ass. They didn't even share the cake with me, I don't think. I can't remember. I can't. That's how unimportant it is to me. It is unimportant. But anyways, Thanksgiving just went away like a blur. And all the thing I've ever felt was I never fit in. Like, nobody could relate. I couldn't relate. I felt like I just couldn't connect. And mind you, this is my family. So I thought there was something wrong with me. And hold on to that thought, I'm taking a drink. Okay. Now, Karen 2, or as I like to call it, Karen Main's clone, seemed like everything was always talking about the past. Always bringing up the past. Feeling intimidated that I wasn't the same person that back then. And even then, whenever I was what they call crazy, unstable Emily, I withdrew. I was argumentative. I was even violent. It's hard to explain, but when I married my husband, that's when everything changed, I think, in my family dynamics. My husband's Afro-Caribbean, and Well, you see what I look like. We won't even get into that. But I fell in love with my husband. And I think when that all happened, everybody was shocked. Like everybody. Because I was always fascinated with African American shows. I think my first African American show was Sister Sister, Moesha, My Wife and Kids. I always preferred all of those shows compared to other shows because it was different tropes. With main shows like on Disney Channel back in the day, it was all the same old trope and it got so boring watching it. So I'm the complete opposite of my family. I don't think the same ways they do. I don't have the same values. I have feelings, and I don't use other people's feelings as a weapon. And a lot of people in my family do that. Like, everybody would think that Karen Maine is a perfect, great person. Like, oh, you should be lucky that you have Karen Maine as your mother, and you should be just so thrilled. And my thoughts, first of all, my jaw drops. Sadly, whenever my grandfather was alive, everybody would say, you should be so lucky that he is your grandfather. He has taken so good care of you. Meanwhile, my mouth drops. I'm not sure what to say. And I am... The only thing I can say is, yeah, I'm so lucky. Yeah, not really. In my mind, I'm thinking, how about if you trade places with me, and then you will wonder which is the lucky one. It's been a minute, but I started thinking about the behaviors of how my family acts towards me. The first time, I think the last time I spoke to my mother, and I will refer to her as Karen Maine, and bounce between mother, but she'll be Karen Maine in my mind forever, I think. I got upset with her. It seemed like every time she would always ask me to do something, I didn't want to do it. So I would say, I'm too lazy to do that. I don't want to do that. Or I would go through periods of depression and not want to take care of my apartment. And sometimes it looked pretty questionable. And the reason why my apartment looks questionable right now is because I got no trash bags right now. So bear with me. My apartment, I take fairly good care of it now. But regardless, and my mother has very bad OCD when it comes to cleaning, and when it comes to other things. Anyways, I started hating that she would always seem to ask me personal questions. And she would say, oh, I'm just trying to get to know you again. But then I started seeing something that I did not see, and it made me want to withdraw. She would, and I know she's fully aware that she does this. I know that. And she would, and anybody in my family would do this. knowing full well that I know what I'm seeing, and try to gaslight me and say, oh, you're not seeing this, you're going crazy, or dismiss anything that I say. Anyways, my mother and I just, whenever I just didn't feel the motivation because of my depression, it started getting under her skin, I think. That I wouldn't take care of myself or clean. All I would do was just stay out. She would take me places because I had no car. Stupid me, that's another story. But everything started changing, I think. Probably for me, was when I ended up there. First night, I asked for a cigarette, and I quit smoking at that time for like 6 or 7 months. Because I think it was partly because a lot of things happened when I was in that apartment where I used to live at. And then it seemed like the walls were talking, so to speak. And everything that I ever went through, the memories started coming back. I started having triggers. I started withdrawing myself, even being argumentative with them. Stuff that I shouldn't have even did. And if I was in this mindset like I am now, I don't know if I would still be there or not. Probably not. But still. I think probably what the toughest thing about all of this is, I think they have narcissistic behavior. Actually, I don't think. I know. But I'm going around too much about this. Let me start from the beginning on why I left again. Everything about my mother, and to this day it's still very hard to even talk about, but she is very charming to anybody that doesn't truly know her. She comes across as selfless, giving, understanding. With me, it's a completely different ball game. I see her for who she really is. I don't see the facade that everybody else sees. Just like with my grandfather, I never saw the facade. I saw what he really was. And I think why they chose me to show all that too was, I think it was because for them, it was a game. To see how quickly they could break me. So they could feel like, oh, I will put her back together. And I will keep breaking her and put her back together. And it's just a vicious cycle. I think when I left, that was both scary and empowering at the same time. Because when I left this last time, I knew deep down that it probably would be the last time I would ever see her. And the last time I ever saw her was probably the most awkward car ride to the airport. I think by then she was just done. Because I think whatever it is she was looking for, she couldn't find it in me and just tossed me out. And that's how I feel inside. And It took me a long time to figure that out. And what makes it even harder is narcissistic parents do not care at all. They don't have any conscience. They don't care about nothing. They have the facade of caring, but they don't. And I know that she does not care about me. And the reason why I'm saying this, a true mother, a real true mother, and I may be out of line saying this because I don't have a mother. I just have someone who gave birth to me. But I imagine what a true mother would be like is not making you feel bad for how you feel. Not trying to use your weaknesses against you. And then telling you that what they're doing, they're not doing, and you're just seeing things. Not try to do anything really. And when they don't get what they want, they just leave you alone. I don't care. Now, for me, if I was to become a mother again, I don't care how my kids are or how mad that they make me. I will still love them. Like my nephew, Zach. He is 6 years old and feisty and everything. Like Aurelia boys. I thought I was troubled as a kid. But he takes the cake. But he's like a combination of me and Karen 3 and Karen 2. But playful, not wicked, for the most part. Anyways, whenever I discipline him, I love him. I try to teach him. And when I think that he's wrong, I will call him out on it. But it doesn't mean I don't love him. It does not mean that I would ever treat my kids or my nephew like how I was treated growing up. But, and then also try to gaslight and make them think, oh, I was a good parent. I was a good grandparent. You're just seeing things. You're crazy. You're unstable. That used to irritate me more than anything. Now, I just keep to myself. Mainly because my family don't even speak to me except my aunt. And that is not my thing, but I do it anyways. I think it's just a vicious cycle. And it's never going to end. Until I stopped giving a fuck. That's when it ended. Like, every time that my aunt calls me, she will tell me that my mother will ask about me. Told Len, don't. And I repeat, don't tell her anything anymore. I don't want her to know anything. First of all, she's not a part of my life. She don't ask about me. She don't call me. So why do you care if you are not... You can't use somebody to get information without going to the source. And the source don't even give a fuck anyways. So why is the vicious cycle starting to pick up again? I'll tell you why. Because I'm feeling better about myself, and because everything is happening the way it's supposed to happen. And people like that know that. And they will not leave you alone. They cannot stand when somebody else is happy. Nobody with those kind of tendencies and behaviors can stand that. Because they're not happy themselves. And they have to take it out on everybody else. And I wish that I would have known that 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. I think I would have saved myself a lot of pain and heartache, and maybe would have had a lot less nervous breakdowns. But coming to that realization yesterday and realizing that when every time I would distance myself from my family and things would happen great in my life, in my mind I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's taking an interest in me. Maybe she's changed. Maybe they all have. Maybe they're taking an interest. Maybe things will get better. Not gonna happen. It never gets better. It's like a game. It's like playing cat and mouse. They give you just enough hope to start caring. And then it never gets better. It gets worse. The more that you share is like a weapon, because people like that know that you're in a great place. You don't need them, and they know that. They will try to break you, try to take away that happiness, make you feel bad about yourself, make you question your own sanity, just to make them feel better because they feel bad and have a conscience and don't listen to it. And all it does is just get worse. I think by me walking away from it all, I mean, at first, I will be honest, as soon as I got back, I remember that I was in Tower City Center. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I got nearly attacked in Tower City Center, or something happened there. And my first instinct was, I wanted my mom. 33 years old. I want my mom. Should be natural. A normal mother would drop everything and meet you at Tower City. Even if they're halfway around the world, they will make time. No matter if they're angry at you, if they're pissed at you, if you've made the most terrible mistake in the world in their eyes, they will drop everything just to make you feel better. She didn't. I think what happened was when I apologized to her when I shouldn't have, because I know I did nothing wrong. I mean, yes, I did do something wrong. I was hungry. I used all my food stamps, well, a lot of it for stuff I shouldn't have. Most of it for them. A lot of it for me. But anyways, I stole from the food pantry when I shouldn't have in the basement. I never paid my mother back the 20 or 25 bucks that I owed her from whenever and I did pay her back also. It's on PayPal. I don't even know if she checked on it, but I didn't get a thank you. I wasn't even expecting a thank you. I just wanted to do the right thing. But I ended up getting, and anyways, I also got upset because of the whole mess. I locked her out of the apartment. Nobody could get in. And I left the apartment in a complete mess because I was upset. And I pretty much fed the dragon to pretty much fire breathe back on me. Anyways, I needed her, and she must have given her phone to my sister, and my sister ends up saying that I'm going to block you. and start naming all of this nonsense that I guess that was the last straw for my mother, and she was done, and everybody was done with me. Because who wants to speak to crazy old Emily that messed up a bunch of times, like they're any better than me, and who wants to speak to somebody who is troubled and has messed up a bunch of times? It's not perfect, and calls everything out for what they thought what it was. Last comment I ever got from her, well, Morgan, that is. And there could be a ton of Morgans out there. For all people, for all everybody knows, it could be Morgan somebody or Morgan Buffet or anybody. There's a bunch of Morgans in this world. So, I think what really bothered me was I could vent all of this out into one vlog, but I think I will space this all out, and I think the really hard thing is, and actually it used to be hard, now it's not. So I think I will be doing regular episodes, and I will title it My Narcissistic Family Karen Edition. Thank you. Like and subscribe, and have a great week. Bye.